I've got something a little bit different for you today. In the mix of the big stack of games I've got sitting on my desk right now, I wanted to pump out a quick review of an Xbox Live title that looked pretty interesting to me. Released on November 10th for Xbox Live and Steam for about $10, Vitamin G and Atari's latest puzzle game puts you in the shoes of some kind of cute little creature thing in a beautiful and somewhat challenging underwater flora physics-based puzzle game. Just take a look to see what I'm talking about. Here's the Undergarden. The Undergarden is an underwater physics-based single or same-screen co-op puzzle game that involves a little character floating around underwater with a goal to pollinate all the flowers in each of its 15 levels. The entire game took me about 7 hours to complete, which is pretty damn good for only $10. On top of that, the levels are absolutely beautiful and the soundtrack that accompanies the game is very soothing. Each level has a little bit different of a look and feel to it and really kept me interested the entire way through. A hub level allows you to choose which level you'd like to play or replay with or without a co-op friend, and allows you to select which costumes your character wears, which become unlockable as you complete certain objectives in each level. The first few levels aren't all that tricky, but the difficulty escalates pretty quickly if you want to complete all the bonus objectives in the later levels, typically requiring multiple pass-throughs to clear everything. I actually really enjoyed the design of all the levels, as each one presented new and unique challenges and really kept me hooked for the entire session. For the most part, everything worked as expected once I figured out the game mechanics, but I did find one bug in a mission that prevented me from completing it, and I had to ditch 30 minutes of work to try it again. With physics-based puzzle games like this, it takes a bit of getting used to the controls, even when they're as simple as moving the joystick around to swim through the water and pressing a single button to hold things and another to accelerate. Scattered throughout the levels are little green flowers that when stepped on spit out a bunch of pollen that you collect and then scatter on the plants across the levels. Certain plants will bloom and have fruit that you can grab to solve various puzzles with. Some fruits float up and some float down, and everything has a certain weight attached to it, which could be used to trigger pressure-sensitive plates and switches. As you progress through the levels, more interesting fruits will become available, like bombs to blow up doors and fruits that could be used to complete electrical circuits. You can't die, and there aren't really any enemies per se, but there are objects that will remove all of your pollen and cause you to drop whatever you're holding upon touching them, and wind tunnels can be counterproductive to your end goals until you figure out how to properly utilize them. There are also areas of darkness that you won't be able to swim through unless you're carrying a lantern flower, and there are certain areas that will be inaccessible until you pull on giant blocks or shoot at them with cannons. Each level has hidden flowers that can be discovered, as well as a hidden gem. Finding these items unlocks better costumes and yields a higher score, which is stored on a global leaderboard online. There are also musicians scattered throughout each level that unlock additional things when they're all brought together, which is much easier said than done, as you have to figure out how to solve the puzzles and navigate the mazes while carrying these little bastards with you. All in all, the game is really quite enjoyable and very addicting. Some of the puzzles may be a bit easier if you have a friend with you, but all are solvable on your own. There isn't much to be said about the Undergarden, really. It's just a simple concept, wonderfully executed, and truly worth the $10 price tag, especially for the 7+ hours of content it provides. It actually kinda gives me the same feelings I had while playing Braid and the Misadventures of PB Winterbottom. The graphics are just beautiful, and I love the cartoony little character that you play. The puzzles get challenging enough that you'll be scratching your head for a bit, but not so much that you ever become frustrated. While likely not for everybody, this is certainly a neat little title that you could spend an afternoon playing through, and I'd certainly recommend it. What do you think? Is it worth your hard-earned dollar? Leave your questions and comments below. Check out the full write-up and screenshots over at ZeitgeistGameReview.com. Stay up to date by following me on Twitter and Facebook, and make sure to check out all of the other great gaming entertainment on the Game Station. Don't forget to subscribe and press the thumbs up button. Thanks for watching.